Hey guys, it's LpsHoney, and today I'm going to be showing you how to make DIY little face masks for your LPS. So super duper quickly, I want to apologize for the background and the change of setting. I can't film in my usual spot today because someone is sleeping literally down the hallway, and this house is like very paper thin so you can hear everything. So I have to film in a different space today, so I hope you guys don't mind. But without further ado, let's get on to the items you will need to do this DIY. Does that make sense? To do this DIY, to do this do-it-yourself? I don't think so, but yeah, anyway, let's move on. So you're going to need one sheet of paper towel, and make sure this is pretty durable paper towel because we are going to be cutting it and making it wet. You're going to need some scissors and some water, which I'm going to be getting from the tap, so I can't really show it. Some optional items include some tape and some slime/putty. So, step number 1 is going to be cutting out a small rectangle, roughly the size of your LPS's head. If you want to get all fancy, you can definitely measure out your head's size with a ruler and pencil and cut it out from there. But girl, this is a lazy DIY and we ain't got time for that. After that, you're going to be cutting out some eyes and a little mouth hole for your LPS. Again, it's probably best to measure this part, but if you have a rough idea of how big your LPS's eyes and mouth is, you can just go ahead and cut it without measuring. Because let's be real, I make the laziest DIY videos, but somehow they always turn out pretty decent, at least in my opinion. Also at this point, it can be a little time consuming cutting out the eyes if you want to get them perfect, so feel free to blast some Rocky Horror Picture Show soundtrack music because Tim Curry is a legend, like, let's be honest. I'm not sure if any of you are even going to know what that is, but if you do, yes! So once you have the basic eye and mouth shape done, you can go around and trim the rest of the paper towel to make it more rounded to fit your pet's head better. So now that I have my mask pretty much how I want it, I'm going to go take this to the sink and get the paper towel wet. And that's pretty much the main reason why you want to use paper towel rather than paper or tissues. It's because paper towel is a lot more durable when it gets wet, so it won't rip or tear or anything like that. Now you don't want to get your paper towel soaking wet, so only like 2 or 3 drops is good because it is such a small mask. And also face masks are never really dripping, they're just kind of moist, so that's how you want your pet face mask to be. Now don't worry if your face mask is a little too wet, you can either pat it with a towel and it will absorb the extra water, or you can just leave it to dry for a little bit and it'll kind of just evaporate over time. And then the last step is to put it on your LPS. Now, because it is a bit damp, it kind of is a bit prone to falling off. So if you're walking around with your pet, you can either hold it with your fingers, like I did, or you can use sticky tape, and that's where our next step comes in handy. So I would recommend using sticky tape if you're going to be walking around with the face mask on, but if you're lying down, you'll be pretty much completely fine. So simply take your face mask and some tape and tape it around the back. I recommend you tape your face mask from the top rather than the sides because it does have a bit of trouble holding from the sides because it's so thin and damp, but it should stay on there pretty well. So the optional second way to do a face mask is of course using putty or slime to create kind of like a clay mask. Now if you're going to be doing this, I would recommend you use a store-bought putty rather than a homemade slime or something like that, just because homemade slimes tend to use like food dye or paint in them and you don't really want to get that on your pets. However, if you're using a 100% clear slime, you should be pretty safe because there's no coloring in it. But for today, I'm going to be using my purple kind of putty slime that I got from Banggood. So this is definitely the more easy version of a face mask, but like I said, it's more of a mud mask and it will kind of droop over time, so it's much better for pets who are lying down or not going to be moving around a lot. So for this, like I said, I'm going to be using my purple putty slime, and I'm also going to be using this walrus. So first of all, you're going to break off a little tiny piece of putty or slime and just pretty much start molding it around your pet's face. You want to start off with a small amount and add to it rather than taking away from it, because if you mold it into place and then you have to take some away, it can kind of ruin the shape that you're forming. And there you have it, a beautiful clay mud mask. You can also make your own little paper cutouts of cucumbers to stick on your pet's eyes. Like I said, am lazy as heck, so I ain't got time for that, so I'm just gonna edit some cucumbers on his eyes, like boom. There we go. Look how adorable he looks. Heck yeah. And the best thing about these face masks is that they are super easy to clean up and remove. The putty just peels right off the pet, and the face mask is of course just made from paper towel, so you can super easily remove it, let it dry out, and use it over and over again. So guys, that was my little quick tutorial on how to make face masks for your LPS. I of course used the paper towel version in my most recent film, and I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If you haven't seen it, there'll be a link to it in the description below and also in the top right hand corner as a card. But yeah, I know it's not the best DIY, but I'm not the best crafter, so I hope that you guys will find it somewhat useful if you're like me and absolutely hopeless at DIY crafts. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and like always, don't forget to like, comment, and of course subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye guys!